Buenos dias, mi gente. Good morning. My name is Barrosos. This is my mom, Candy Barroso, and I work with the Center of Inclusive Excellence. Today, we're going to show you how to make a modified version of Colombian arepas from the Atlantic coast of Colombia.
Good morning. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a modified version of the Colombian sweet arepas. Colombian, we eat a lot arepas for breakfast. Arepas are also made in Venezuela, but depending on where you come from, the ingredients vary a little bit. So for the Colombian sweet arepa, we are going to be using 2 pounds of harina pan, that's white cornmeal, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 cup of sugar, 7.5 cups of water, 2 cups of grated cheese. The cheese that I use is called tropical cheese, and you can purchase that cheese at Walmart, Stop and Shop, Price Right. We're going to be using the bowl to mix all of the ingredients. We also need a Ziploc plastic bag, and I had to trim the edges because we're going to use this bag to flatten the arepas and the plate to put some pressure to flatten it. The reason why we're grilling this arepa is for health issues. Back home, we deep fry the arepas, but for health issues, we're going to be grilling them. And the only place in Colombia where they make these sweet arepas is in the Atlantic coast of Colombia. So let's start. So what we're going to do is the 7.5 cups of water. I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Oh, I only heat up the water a little bit just because I don't like to use cold water. So I'm going to pour a half of the water in the bowl. I'm going to add the salt, the sugar, and I'm going to be mixing this a little bit. Now we're going to add harina. And we're going to start to mix the harina and the water. I'm going to be adding more water to it and start mixing. What we want to do is we want to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed and that we want to have a pliable dough so we can do the arepas. We're going to be just going in and just mixing, making sure that everything is blending. Now we're going to add the rest of the water. So when you purchase the cheese is when you're going to have like a block of cheese. What I did with the cheese was I used my food processor to chop it up because it's faster than using tools to mince it, This is is easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. You don't need a lot of ingredients. And you can combine the arepa for breakfast with, we typically have it with scrambled eggs and with onions and scallions and tomatoes. We're done. This is how it is. It's really pliable. And we're going to add the cheese to the dough. Now we want to make sure that the cheese is integrated. Okay, so now we are ready to make the arepas. Okay, so before we make the arepas, what we have to do, I have here a double burner non-stick griddle. So we have to put it on medium heat so it can start, it needs to be hot before we can put the arepas on the griddle. Now we can come over here. We have to have a small bowl where we can put some water to wet our hands. Take a little bit of the arepa dough, or the corn dough, and we're going to put it in the plastic bag. It's already wet, and just flatten it a little bit. So this is the arepa. This is the thickness of the arepa. Now we have to come over here and just place it on the griddle. And it's going to be medium heat for about 3 minutes. And then we can flip it over. If it is, some people like a little bit darker or a little bit crunchier, then you can leave it like another minute or so. You just make sure that it doesn't burn. Okay guys, as I mentioned, I made my 8 arepas. I'm leaving them here for between 3 and 4 minutes. And then I'll show you once I flip them over how they look like. Okay, so I'm going to flip them over now. As you can see, they are beginning to, they're done on one side. And look at the color. Beautiful. We're going to leave them another 3 minutes on the other side, and the arepas should be done. Okay, my friends, as you can see, the arepas are done. I'm going to flip them over. I can tell you that they're brown and they're crunchy. Okay, guys, so we made the arepa just like we normally do. And now I'm going to poke a hole in there, and I'm going to deep fry it. So as you can see, we have to put a lot of oil. The oil has to be really hot. And we're gonna put the arepa in the oil. So what is going to happen is that as the arepa is frying, it's going to develop sort of like a skin, and the skin is going to puff up. You can see the skin now is popping up. Now I'm going to flip it over. This one is quicker because it doesn't take as long to cook. All you have to do is just put it in the oil, let it puff up, and just flip it over. But it's not as healthy because it's a lot of grease. And we're done. Okay, I just want to show you the difference between the grilled arepa and the deep fried arepa. So this is the deep fried arepa. This is what we make back home. There's one ingredient that is missing here. The deep fried arepa doesn't use cheese, but instead of cheese, we use the anisette seeds. For the grilled arepa, we do use cheese on it. And this is the typical Colombian breakfast. We have the scrambled eggs with onions, tomatoes, and scallion, a little bit of cheese, and the arepas. So deep fried, grilled, and obviously we have to have the Colombian coffee. Thank you. Goodbye.